Here we go. The 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, there will be Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. So from Berlin, I took a train via Hamburg to Copenhagen. And I still remember before reaching Copenhagen, and the train needed to transfer into the ferry, and after that we need to get off from the train and then be on the ferry, and after that go back to the train and just hit the rail again. And so when I arrived at Copenhagen, I stayed in a hostel, and during my arrival day was the brand new opening for that hostel. So I was the 11th guest of that hostel. And the next day I went out for sightseeing. Actually, during a traffic night cross, I asked some people for direction, but the people I was asking, they don't know the direction, but they are very friendly. They invited me to join their family for a day trip, because they are Danish family, but they are not from the capital, so they were coming from another part of Denmark in the capital for family vacation. So I still remember there's a sister and brother, and sister's little daughter and their mother. So they have a lot of coupon, and they treat me with a different local drink and snacks. That was really fun day, in my perception. And also I went to see the Little Mermaid during the storm day, because the hostel receptionist was telling me, by 6 p.m. today you have to be in somewhere with the shelter. But I was still on my way to the Little Mermaid, so I risked myself in order to get to see that statue, Yeah, it was really funny. And so, everyone knows the fairy tale story writer from Denmark since we were little. And of course, if next time when I come back, I would like to see some other part of Denmark. It was just really very briefly in the capital for a few days. And after that, I made my way to Norway. So I still remember that it's via Sweden and to Norway. But unfortunately, during because with the weather, the bridge between Denmark and Sweden was shut down. So I have to take a bus, and after that change to train. And while I was waiting to board my train, there's some announcement, but not in English language. So I asked someone who was on the same platform with me, and then he was kindly enough to translate for me. And after we board on the train, so I was talking to that person previously who helped me to translate. So I noticed that I'm going to Russia after my Euro trip, and then he was kindly suggested that I should get a visa. And then because we were talking about this topic, and the next guy who sat opposite the aisle just joined our conversation, because he also said that I need a visa. So that guy named Danny, he's originally from Latvia, and he was traveling with the dog. I think it's very funny. And then we started to talk, and he got a dog tattoo on his right and left arms. Yeah. And then actually that day I need to go to Oslo, and then Danny was on the way from Latvia. Actually, he took a ferry from Estonia to Sweden, and then directly by the train from Sweden to Norway. But he's going to Tornsberg. So as we all know, like the cost for tourism or for living in Norway, it's really expensive. I mean, generally in Northern Europe, it's not any budget option. So, and Danny was kind enough to invite me to join him to his friend's place in Tonsberg. So I haven't booked any accommodation in Oslo, so I was thinking, okay, why not? So it was really funny. I just followed Danny, who I met on the train, and then I still remember that he was calling his friend, hey, I'm here with a Chinese tourist, and then we are coming together. So after arrived Oslo, we have to change another train, domestic one, to Tonsberg. So we were running with our luggage. I still remember I was very, very happy, very excited. And then he helped me with my luggage to put to stow on the train. Then when we arrived at Tonsberg, and his friend Richard came and picked us up. And Richard just offered me a hug and said, okay, that's the spirit. And actually, Danny, Richard, and then another two guys who from Latvia, they live in Tonsberg in a isolating house around the forest. Yeah, it's so called the Norwegian forest. And Danny is just visiting Richard because the reason he came to Tonsberg is in order to sell his dog. And then so I was there with them for about 15 days, like 2 weeks. And it was my very first time to get to see this much snow, yeah. So the first night after we arrived, the next morning when I opened my eyes, oh, it's just snowing. So I had my very first time clean the snow, you know. And then we make fire when we were indoor. And all the guys, they were working as a postman in Tonsberg because the salary is much higher than in Latvia. So and most of the time they work overnight. Maybe it's a night shift. And then we did some party and then some cooking, and then they are really lovely people. And then we played some games, and after that, and Danny and I feel like each other, and so after I stayed with them for like half months, I still need to move on for my journey. So the next stop, that's Sweden. Actually, Danny studied in Sweden, and noticed that I'm going to Sweden. He was thinking to give his key of his apartment to me, but I don't want to bother him because himself is still in Tonsberg, away from Sweden. If I'm going to his apartment, I'll have to let his roommate to take care of me. So I tried to not bother him, so I didn't take the key. And then, but it was really funny when I arrived to Sweden. For some reason, I have to go to his place. But we were contact on the social media. Normally, I just log in automatically, but for some reason, I couldn't log in because I couldn't remember the password. So I had some funny story in Sweden, so I would share that in the next episode. So on total, I enjoyed my time in Norway very much, and the next time if I visit Norway, I would like to go to an island near Norway called Longyearbyen. Actually, before I was thinking to go there and to live there, but the weather is really extremely, and I'm very scared about cold, but I don't know if in the future I'm going to challenge that. that will be very unique experience. But I had some experience stayed in a place which is -27, something like that. Well, it's really crazy. Even